guys, welcome back to Mrs. Busy Bee. And today, kind of thought that since I'm supposed to be getting a period tonight, I'd go ahead and kind of go over kind of the basics of trying to conceive, since it's kind of part of my world right now. And there's a lot to it that I didn't know about. Primarily the part where, in health class all through school, they're like, don't have unprotected sex because it only takes one time to get pregnant. Except when you really actually want to get pregnant, it doesn't always happen the first month. This will have been our 6th cycle of trying, 6 months of trying. And I hadn't had any symptoms, any pregnancy symptoms. Being said, I still haven't gotten my period, but the day's not over yet, and I might get it tomorrow. So I'm not holding my breath too much. If I'd had symptoms, I'd test. But not to the point just as yet. But I thought I'd kind of go over my chemical pregnancy story. When we first started trying to conceive, we were in the finishing of buying the house. So we had just bought the house, just signed the papers, we're starting construction on the house to get a couple things in place before I moved in. The first month, I should have cut the list, and I didn't, which is silly of me, but it was the first month we were trying. It was the second month off of birth control. And they say that going on to birth control, or just over time, your periods can change. And before I started birth control, my periods were super regular. I could count on them to start almost down to the minute. They were super regular, not a problem. And they'd seemed regular after getting off my birth control. The first month happened just as I expected. And then the second month, and there were a lot of little things. The problem is most of your pregnancy symptoms in the first 2 weeks, it's 2-week wait. It's the trying to conceive TTC term. Most of those are going to be your standard period symptoms. One of the few that isn't is implantation bleeding. And the big reason I am 95% certain I had this chemical pregnancy, I'm not 100% certain because I did not go see a doctor, because the fact that it ended up being 5 days late for my period when it was the second cycle off birth control. They say things can change. They say that your body can change over time. So I thought, well, maybe my body's just less regular. For some people, once you've been off of birth control, that can really set your cycles off, and then they will settle down. So I was 5 days late doing all this research. Not a big deal. So whatever. But I had the implantation bleed. But the other thing that really kind of threw me off was that I just felt different. I couldn't really pinpoint anything in particular, but I know my body really well. I'm really in tune with my body. And the fact that it just kind of felt a little different, or something, I don't want to use the word off because that's not it. It just, now how my period continued to be late, at a week, I would have gone to the doctor and gone, hey, I don't understand what's up. I tested twice. I tested a couple days early, and then I tested the day my period was supposed to have started. Both negative. So, I didn't know what was up. Turns out later, through my research, chemical pregnancies are a thing, which basically, that is when the egg fertilizes, but for whatever reason, essentially, it's a very early miscarriage. It miscarries. It doesn't implant right. It doesn't start building right. Your body miscarries for any number of reasons. Primarily, they all boil down to either outside forces are just messing up your body chemistry for whatever reason. I think the biggest reason I miscarried was because of stress. We were moving, I was very stressed out, my stress level was sky high. If I continued on with no period and still getting negative pregnancy tests, I would have gone to the doctor and gone, hey, what's up? I don't understand what's going on. As it was, I didn't think it was bad enough worry to go to the doctor. The doctor would have basically just gone, we're gonna wait it out a few more days, probably draw some blood, just check to see how my blood levels were doing. But there wasn't much the doctor could have done for me anyway. And since I realized after the fact, so long after the fact, that it was chemical pregnancy, I was like, okay, well, that's a scientific thing that happened. It can take up to a year for a normal, healthy, young couple to get pregnant. Mind you, if you stress out about conceiving and you just worry about it and fret over it, it's going to take you longer. I have a friend whose sister, it took them about 2 years to conceive, completely healthy. Doctor went, there should be no reason you can't get pregnant, and she wasn't getting pregnant because she was stressing about it, and her stress levels were just so high. So pretty much the only tip that we can give couples who are trying to get pregnant, women who are trying to get pregnant, it can take a while. Pretty much no one I've met who has been trying to get pregnant has gotten pregnant the first few months. For me, the biggest thing that drew my attention was implantation bleeding. And let me see, so I've got the What to Expect website pulled up. It says implantation bleeding can happen anywhere from 6 days to 12 days after fertilization. So that is when the egg is fertilized and has traveled down the fallopian tube and into your uterus, and it implants into the wall, your uterine wall, which is a nice cushy thing of, well, okay, blood. It's just all blood. It's the stuff that we shed monthly during our period. You know what I'm talking about. And when it implants, since it's just a mass of blood and blood vessels, it slightly bursts one of the blood vessels and actually attaching itself to the wall. It's not a big deal. It's completely natural. It heals. It's like just getting a little cut or a scrape. Your body just naturally heals. Not a big deal. And when I had it, I initially noticed I'd had some light pink spotting, which I never get. And I mean never get, which is why I know that this is implantation bleeding. And then the next time I checked, it had turned to that dark brown blood spotting, and then it was gone. That was it. So that happens usually, okay, so day 1, your period, day 14, you ovulate, and then about a week after that, a week before you're supposed to start your period, if you're on a 28-day cycle, I'm just going to base all my numbers on that, about a week, give or take 3 days or so, 3 or 4 days, you'll have spotting. Not a guarantee. Not all women have it. Now, I was talking with another friend of mine, actually the other night, because she knows I'm trying to conceive, and she's got 2 little ones of her own. Her youngest is about a year now, and she said that her first sign that something was up was that she had sore boobs. So as you can see, 3 different women, 3 very different symptoms. According to the Baby Center website, I pulled up one of their 10 early pregnancy symptoms articles. See? They say one of the 10, the first one is food aversions. Suddenly just something just doesn't, it doesn't, One that is also a PMS symptoms, mood swings. Because who doesn't get a little moody around their period? I know I do. Another one that I've only recently gotten as a PMS symptom that women get for PMS symptoms, bloating. So another early symptom, frequent urination. A lot of people assume this is just a third trimester sort of symptom for very obvious reasons. Baby's very big at that point, not out of room, baby is sitting on your bladder, among other things. Well, it's actually also a first trimester symptom. Read the list. The reason the blood volume rising, increasing urination, is because the extra fluid is being processed and ending up in your bladder. Science. So if you're in early pregnancy and people are going, I don't understand why you're going to the bathroom so much, baby's not pressing on nothing, science, bitch. Fatigue. Because you're making a baby. Your energy is not just yours anymore, it's also baby's. And let me tell ya, it takes a lot of energy to create something. So yeah, fatigue is definitely an early symptom, in the pregnancy symptom. Again, one that I touched on earlier, another symptom, sore breasts. These girls are now getting ready to make your baby's food. They're gonna get bigger so that they can make baby's food in 9 months. Actually, before then. So, I like the description of this one, so I'm going to read it as well. The next one, light bleeding or spotting. It seems counterintuitive. If you're trying to get pregnant, the last thing you want to see is any spotting or vaginal bleeding. But if you notice just light spotting around the time your period is due, it may be implantation bleeding. Note, about 1 in 4 women experience spotting or light bleeding during the first trimester. And it's completely fine. So, another pregnancy symptom, early pregnancy symptom, nausea. Again, morning sickness, nausea. Most women get it. Not all women get morning sickness. Most do, like 90-something% do. Usually you get it 6 to 8 weeks. Start getting it after you've conceived. But the lucky few get it before your missed period. So yay you! An early pregnancy symptom, in case you really didn't know, because it is on the list, a missed period. In case you weren't aware of that one. That's a pregnancy symptom. In case you were unaware. High basal body temperature is another one. That is when you first wake up, before you even get out of bed, you take your temperature. That temperature, if you track it closely, depending on where you are in your cycle, varies. I think they say about 2 degrees. Literally before you start moving. I mean, like, you'll wake up, the first thing you do is you grab the thermometer and test. I don't think it matters where. I think just as long as you chart it in the same spot every time. They say if you notice it's high, that stayed elevated for more than 2 weeks, that you could be pregnant. But those are 10 pregnancy symptoms. They're not going to be all of the symptoms you might have. They're just 10 of the most common. You know, feel free to do your own research. I am not by any means a doctor telling you this is what will happen. Do your research, go on the internet, take everything you read on the internet with a huge grain of salt, especially depending on where you're getting your data from. That's why I specifically went to, Baby Center, and what to expect when you're expecting, or that whole series, because I know that those are considered reputable sources for information. You can always ask your doctor. They will know. One thing I didn't actually expect when I went in for my initial appointment at my doctor, I had a couple of different topics I wanted to discuss with her, just because I knew we were going to be trying to conceive before too long, and I didn't really know what you do between getting the positive pregnancy test and going to see an OBGYN. And you don't have to go see an OB. You can go see a midwife. That's completely up to you. For my first child, I want to go see an OBGYN. It's very new to me. I know I'm going to be kind of freaking out. It's going to be a lot to handle, especially at the very beginning. My emotions are going to be out of whack. I know this. They're going to be out of whack, I'm sure, the entire 9 months, which is a full 9 months. 40 weeks. 40 weeks. People. This is 12 weeks short of a year. It's not, oh, you hit 9 months and now the baby is coming. No. It's the end of 9 months. She had actually told me that we could actually go see an OB before we conceived. If we wanted to just interview them, kind of get to know this OB, kind of try to decide if this is who we wanted to go with, but also kind of discuss, tips about getting pregnant, any suggestions they have, whatnot. I haven't taken the doctor up on this. It's something that, do I really need to go see an OB? I'm perfectly healthy. I'm young. I'm in my prime. I'm not concerned just of yet. As for interviewing, it's kind of one of those, yeah, I could now if I wanted to, but I'm trying to manage my expectations. I'm now at the end of my 6th cycle of trying to conceive. Mind you, 3 of it was essentially wasted. I wasn't able to conceive even if I wanted to. And trust me, I did try. But every month is an emotional roller coaster for me. Some months are easier than others. It's very frustrating, especially when you realize that it may take quite a while to get pregnant. I'm at the end of my 6th cycle. I really don't expect to be pregnant this month. If I am, that's great, but I am expecting to see my period. And this is something I have had to start to do, is to expect to get my period. It helps me manage my expectations, because if I expect to get a negative, then if I get a positive, it's a complete surprise. If I was having symptoms, I would have tested this morning. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. I would have tested this morning if I had had symptoms. I haven't had any symptoms this month. Doesn't mean I'm not pregnant. just means that I don't see the point in going down to the dollar store or to Walmart to get a cheapy test. I have done that a lot. Now, yes, you can order really, really cheap ones on Amazon. Or I could go down to Walmart and get 88 cents and just buy a whole bunch of them. That's what my friend kept suggesting to me the other night when I was telling her, but I'm sitting here going, with my luck, I would buy these and then get pregnant immediately. So I'd buy a whole stock of pregnancy tests and not be able to use them. I don't see the point, and I don't have the money for that right now. But what's really funny is that with, I can't remember which pregnancy she said it was. I can't remember which pregnancy she said it was with, because she has 2 boys now. But she had taken she'd taken 4 dollar store drug pregnancy tests. All 4 of them came positive. So she went down to Walmart or whatever to get one of those expensive, really nice pregnancy tests, and it came up negative. And so she's sitting here going, what's going on? I have 4 tests that are really cheap showing that I'm pregnant, and I have this one really high end that's supposed to be able to detect really low levels of HCG saying I'm negative. She was pregnant. So, is it worth buying the really expensive tests? It's up to you. For me, for now, not really. I don't think I'll buy a digital one. Unless I want to actually see pregnant on the screen. That'll depend on how I feel at the moment. When I do test, I'll take you guys along, whether it's positive or negative. And I'll let you know what I'm feeling, why I'm taking the test. Some months it's because I kind of might be having pregnancy symptoms, and others, like last month, it was legit because my husband's birthday was coming up, and it would be really nice to give him these positive pregnancy tests as a birthday present. It's literally, I test for any number of reasons, but I get the 88 cents test because it's supposed to still be and it is still as accurate the day you miss your period as any other test, so long as you use your morning or your most concentrated urine. I tend to only go urinate once twice a day anyway. Morning is always one of them. So, and it's nice to be able to start your day that way, somewhat. I will talk to you guys later. Subscribe, please. There is the notification bell that I'm sure every other YouTuber that you watch tells you about. Click it. It'll email you to let you know when I post another video. I post Tuesdays and Saturdays. I apologize for Saturday. Terrible internet. Did not have internet. Didn't reset the router either. But our cable whole thing was down. We had no cable. We had no internet. It was all down. And then I go to upload, and because I'd exported the video the night before, and I go to upload and I realize that the exported video disappeared. Okay, fine, whatever. It says it's in there, but I don't see it, so I'm just gonna re-export it again. Not a problem. So I go to upload it, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch the video for a minute, just check it out, make sure it's the right video. And my little text thing only had the first line. So, whatever. So I exported it 3 times before that video you saw. But I do upload Tuesdays and Saturdays. I try to have them go live about 8 a.m. Pacific time. But I'm human and I literally have to go in and change it from private to public. So it'll be sometime in the morning. Tuesdays will usually be earlier because I am at work already by 8. Saturdays will possibly be later. I get up at 8. So, whatever. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I did post on both of these places that the video was being funky, so check those out. I'll keep you guys posted there. Instagram, I do post a couple times a week. Twitter, I really never tweet. But again, when I knew this video was going to be late, I tweeted there. So, follow me there. Leave my handles in the description box below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!